That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that shit, just let me go. Owers and tastemakers make us no chaser. Gets the blood flowing like a fucking pacemaker. Cut the middleman and inhale the vapors. Madman, old 10 Don Drapers. Cut the jukebox on, make the woofers blow. We gon' sit here until all them heifers go. Holler at the tens and spend a little dough. Not on them, no, they can buy their own drinks. That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode
194.
So we're 5 episodes away from 200. Well, yeah, we'll be 5 episodes away from 200. So exciting, good stuff. And we're going. Oh yeah, I always forget we don't have to introduce ourselves because we have an intro for a reason. So it's like, you know, what are we doing that for? So
whenever the fuck it gets uploaded, we have an intro.
I know, yeah. I mean, actually, the rundowns are low. So I'll go over what happened. So the rundowns were finally going to get up last weekend, but then YouTube's copyright claims and everything screwed us over. So like James had to re-render the rundowns to remove the music, yeah, pretty much. Now you're gonna see them at some point. They're all rendered. He just has to upload them. So I don't know how long that's gonna take because this Wi-Fi is an ass. So there you go.
Like a literal ass cheek.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, just I hate YouTube's copyright stuff because it like affected my whole weekend because I was like spending the whole thing trying to remove it instead of watching these shows we're reviewing right now. So I hate YouTube forever. But yeah, we're gonna review everything AEW and NXT related. So let's just dive right into that. Backstage we'll just start with that.
No, we won't start with anything.
I believe so whatever last Tuesday's date was when Backstage happened. I have to get my notes.
It's not Dynamite from yesterday. It was Dynamite from a week ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Backstage from March 3rd, 2020. It wasn't anything NXT related. It was hosted by Booker T, Renee Young, Mark Henry, and Paige. But there was something newsworthy that happened on that show. I was going to originally wait for James to be on for it, but when you know, I feel like Chris will be the next best thing. JBL is going into the Hall of Fame, which is very exciting, kind of. I'm mainly excited because I just want to know what James's reaction to that is. That's really the only reason. But, you know, he fits the mold of what they want in a Hall of Famer. He's, you know, tight with the company. He does all this charity work. He's been, you know, WWE champion and everything. So, it's going in the Hall of Fame. And, yeah, pretty much, he did like he actually was on Backstage and talked about his career in a nutshell and everything. It was actually quite cool. They used a famous song. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. That really didn't fit like his career at all. I forget what it was called. It's like a really famous song, and it's been like a week since I've seen it. So, I guess what memories you have of JBL, buddy?
Memories from JBL.
His whole career, not just as JBL, from as Justin Bradshaw, everything.
Well, I remember him being a shittier version of the Blackjacks.
Yeah.
With one of the Blackjacks' son, I forget who it was. Wyndham, I think. I think it was Barry Wyndham.
Yep.
I think. Could have been someone else, but I don't remember. But it was shitty. It was non-existent.
Yes.
And yeah. But everyone remembers him more for his time in the Acolytes Protection Agency.
Absolutely.
the APA, and they were a badass tag team that just beat the shit out of everyone and drank beer.
I mean, that's what.
And,
Yeah.
they were an awesome tag team to watch. Yeah, his JBL gimmick was the best gimmick of his career. He was an asshole, but yeah, well, but yeah, I mean, he was the longest reigning WWE champion, and
No, well, he was up until AJ Styles WWE title reign.
I give it to him. I mean, he was a great heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
When a time when SmackDown needed big heels, he was a great heel. Yeah, there's nothing much more that can be said. But yeah,
I mean, moments I remember, obviously, from his heel work when, he bashed Eddie Guerrero off the head with a steel chair and busted him open at Judgment Day. When he caused Eddie Guerrero's mother to have a heart attack. Him going to like the Texas line and like kicking off the Mexicans, and we've turned that into like a joke now. Like, let's see what else. He's the whole reason Tribute to the Troops is a show now, because it was his brainchild.
That was it.
Him, like, being all drugged up and, like, wrestling like an inflatable dinosaur.
It was fucking hilarious.
The beard drink off with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Him winning the WWE title. A lot of people don't like his title reign, but I think it's fine.
It's all right. I mean, it's nothing special to it, but like,
not a lot of people thought
needed a heel.
Not a lot of people thought he should have won the title, but it's like, like I said, there was no top heels on SmackDown really, so they didn't have a choice. So
yeah, they really didn't have a choice.
And is his title reign really worse than Jinder's? Because the thing is with Jinder, they had other people to put the title on. That's actually the thing too. Like, everyone says they had no heels, but like they turned the top heel. They turned AJ face after Mania, so then they didn't have any top heels. So it was like, what are you doing? Like,
they could have just given it to Mojo Rawley.
Anyhow, we're gonna move on.
Don't
I think a lot of the moments though I remember though is mainly because of James' hatred.
You want Mojo Rawley to be WWE champion?
I'd love it. I think a lot of the moments I remember from JBL though are mainly his hatred, James's hatred of him. Because we've made that like the biggest troll ever. Like his argument, like saying that Billy Kidman could have been WWE champion instead.
Kidman, I remember that. Billy Kidman. Fucking Kidman.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Do you believe he said Billy Kidman could be a top heel?
Yep. And then
that's like saying fucking Riddick Moss can be a top heel.
Yep. And then obviously a memorable moment that I really remember is on 100th episode of the Wrestling Rundown when we had John came in dressed as JBO and like cut a heel promo on James like in the opening of the show. Like
that was our troll.
Yeah.
That was great.
And so I think that's where a lot of our JBL memories come from, is just trolling James with his hatred of JBL. Like, so.
It's true. It's true. That was great. Go watch it. Episode 100 is fantastic. It's chaotic.
It's not called the Wrestling Rundown, though. It's called the Aftershock Corner at the time, so that's where you'll find it. All right, so then we have the bump. Which aired on March 4th. It was hosted by Caleb Braxton, Evan Mack, Matt Camp, and Ryan Popola. Only things NXT related really was they announced a match for NXT where it was going to be Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. They showed various tweets, and Oney Lorcan had a funny tweet. I don't remember it now word for word, but it was hilarious. Because if you ever go on Oney Lorcan's Twitter, it's hilarious. And Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez did an interview just kind of hyping up the cage match for the show. They, Dakota Kai was upset that like Tegan Knox got like this big celebration, this big hype package for a first takeover match when Dakota Kai didn't, which I kind of like that they brought that up and just kind of really promoted the match. So that was really it.
Yay, good, because that show sucks.
Then we have NXT. From March 4th, 2020. Any highlights for NXT? Anything you what was something you really liked or really hated? Anything you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about anything.
Come on, you gotta talk about something.
I'm not going to talk about anything.
There had to have been something on NXT you liked.
It was all garb.
It was all what?
Which NXT?
This last week's NXT.
For which company?
Oh, the USA one.
It was good. I mean, like I loved the main event. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that real quick. We had 2 steel cage matches on this show. It was the main event. Huh?
It was just perfect the way that they set it up.
Yeah. So it was the Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole in one of the matches. No, not Adam Cole. Roderick Strong in the main event. And obviously, this went back to their feud, when Velveteen Dream came back and everything. I liked that cage match. I guess something we should talk about, though, is I think they need to get rid of that rule where you can win via escape because it kind of defeats the purpose of a steel cage match. Because I feel
the pin part. I hate the pin in the cage. I hate that.
I hate the escape because
the escape one makes sense because you have to escape the structure, whereas it's like a regular match if you take out the escape.
So I'm guessing you weren't a fan of the cage match on Dynamite then, because that's the only way you win is pinfall or submission.
I thought that was stupid too.
Yeah, pretty much. This was this personal feud between Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong. They actually incorporated Marina Shafir because she came out and handed Roderick Strong like a kendo stick. The rest of the era came out, and eventually, Velveteen Dream struggling with Roderick Strong, and he sees Adam Cole, who's already in the cage, so he lets Roderick Strong he throws him out of the cage, out of the door, and he handcuffs the door shut, and basically beats the crap out of Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. And they tried to make it seem like this was a masterful plan. It's a way he played mind games. It was really, I really wasn't a fan of the finish because it was just really awkward. Because if you know how NXT works, like Velveteen Dream wants to go after the title, but he just basically sacrificed a win for himself to even get the title. Like William Regal's gonna look at William Regal's gonna look at that and be like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not giving you a title match. You don't deserve a title match based off of that. Like,
I know, that was weird. Like, he cost himself the match.
Yeah.
To trap himself inside the cage with Adam Cole.
Especially too, he not only that, but like, how could he have had this planned out? Like, wasn't the whole cage match was Roderick Strong's idea to begin with? Like, how can, and it's just, I feel like it was just a terrible. Plus, too, we already kind of had a screwy finish in the opening cage match. I don't think we needed 2 in the same show.
Yeah, it was weird. They didn't need to double book.
Yeah, that was weird. But then
they tried to do that.
Then we had the other cage match. It was Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai. I really loved this cage match. I thought it was awesome. It's a nice personal feud. You had Tegan Knox do a crossbody. She hit a choke slam off of the cage onto Dakota Kai. They kept trying to escape, but when Kel Gonzalez kept interfering, eventually I really liked the finish. I thought it was nice and innovative where Tegan Knox tried to escape, but when Kel Gonzalez closed the door onto Tegan Knox so she couldn't drop down, and Dakota Kai just ended up escaping through the door. So Dakota Kai still ended up getting the win. So I really enjoyed that match. I thought it was probably I don't think it was probably the best match of both AEW or NXT, but I really enjoyed that cage match. What do you think of that? What do you think of that cage match?
I thought it was good, but it's just like I'm not really digging this feud. I'm just not. I'm just not. Maybe because I don't watch NXT and I just watch AEW because I'm a fucking mark for AEW now.
Yep.
Wouldn't hear me saying that a year ago, but
No, you wouldn't have actually. Yeah.
But it's just I just don't like the feud. I just feel like it's so one-sided. I just don't like it.
And that's fine. You don't have to like it. Other things that happened on this show, I really like this was actually my favorite thing on both shows, the Johnny Gargano exclusive interview he did with Mauro Ranallo at the Performance Center.
That was good.
Where
I'll say one thing. This fucking feud is already dead in the water, as far as I'm concerned. Even though I did some interesting things this week, which we'll cover at a future date, I just feel like they didn't need to do this feud again.
Well, I feel like what happened was they want to get some closure out of this feud because they didn't really, because they were supposed to blow it off last year but then Ciampa got hurt, so then.
But they had 3 matches.
Yeah, but remember
the third one was supposed to be it.
Well, they were going to do a 4th one at TakeOver last year, but then Ciampa got hurt, so then they had to put the kibosh on that. So I'm actually fine with it because I think it's leading to a loser leaves NXT match, which probably Ciampa will win. Because he does, which kind of sucks for Gargano because he basically is forced to go to Raw or SmackDown, and I don't think his career is going to go very well, especially if he goes to SmackDown. I think, which is odd. Usually it's the opposite. Raw was the place he didn't want to go, but then again,
he could actually been good. So I mean, maybe they'll.
But then again, he could go to Raw. He could go to Raw though, and Heyman could be pushing him, and then Vince will be like, "Nah, I'm done." Like he did with Cedric and Ricochet.
But then you can look at him and go, "No, this is the person I'm going to push."
Yeah.
Because even though Andrade was suspended, they still kept the title on him. And he's a Paul Heyman guy. He didn't lose his push. So there's always hope in that way. Yeah,
so there you go. But Mauro Ranallo's trying to find out why Gargano screwed over Ciampa. And, Johnny Gargano basically says, you know why? Because, there's really no need for an explanation because of their feud. Like, there's really no need.
Yeah, there's a reason for the feud. I'm just, they've already had 3 matches. They've done all they could, and now they're just digging it back up again. The matches are going to be fucking incredible. There's no denying that. But, I just feel like it's just beating a dead horse at this point.
And he continuously just berated Mauro Ranallo. Johnny Gargano is talking about how this is what Tommaso Ciampa's done to me. He's changed me into this way. He made me this way. And Mauro Ranallo just starts to feel uncomfortable and cuts the interview off pretty much, which was fantastic. Really enjoyed this interview. And actually, Gargano even says we're going to bring this to the Performance Center because NXT this week was in the Performance Center, which I actually like that they changed venues this week.
Yeah, it was awesome. It actually had a really cool feel to it. Actually, SmackDown for us is tomorrow. Whenever you're watching it, it's I don't know, but tomorrow's SmackDown. Tomorrow's Friday for us, and they're having it at the PC.
Also on this show, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly defeated Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. A nice, very good match. And afterwards, they did a promo saying they want the NXT Tag Team titles back. And the Broserweights came out and accepted, but then they got attacked by the Grizzled Young Veterans, and they say they want a title match. But Fish and O'Reilly are getting theirs first since they have a rematch. That's also happening at the Performance Center show. But, I really like this. We're setting up 2 tag team matches. And there's reasons for all of them, obviously, since the Fish and O'Reilly were the former champions and the Grizzled Young Veterans lost to the Broserweights in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So I'm digging it. I still think the Broserweights, though, should not lose the championships anytime soon, though.
They should be. It should be long time. NXT has that long-term champions type of feel to it. Like every time like a champion gets a title, they keep it for like months on end. So it's not like main roster where in a month you'll probably see fucking 15 title changes.
It's very rare that an NXT title reign is short.
It's usually injury is for reason for its cut short, but usually it's like a pay-per-view by pay-per-view buy. Sometimes the champion will defend it on more than one pay-per-view, or they'll lose it at the first title defense on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
But their pay-per-views aren't like every 2 weeks. They're like a couple months apart.
But what did you think of this, the tag team fiasco?
Liked it.
Then then also on this show, Isaiah fought Austin Theory. It was set up earlier in the day when Austin Theory was was bragging about the fact that he went toe to toe with Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to be the next big star. And Isaiah Swerve Scott came and challenged him to a match. They did video packages on both superstars, and they had the match. It was a very good match. It's one of those matches you probably would have seen on NXT before it went to USA Network, but actually this match still even worked, being on USA Network because it was very good. Isaiah Swerve Scott looked very aggressive in this match. He actually did the arm breaker to Austin Theory. Austin Theory, though, ended up getting the win, which I think makes sense because he just went toe-to-toe with Tommaso Ciampa, and the match was so good, nobody came off bad by losing. It's just that Austin Theory was the better wrestler on that occasion. Like, honestly, Isaiah Swerve Scott had those eyes like he was going to, murder him. It was scary. But I really enjoyed that match. What do you think about Austin Theory versus Isaiah Swerve Scott?
It was a good match. It was a very good match. Both those guys are incredible. What they do in the ring is awesome.
He even did a one-handed Ushikoroshi in this match too.
Pretty impressive.
And then Chelsea Green defeated Shotzi Blackheart to qualify for the NXT Women's Championship ladder match. I don't really have an issue with Chelsea Green being in the match, I guess, because she can do that spot in ladder matches where she tries to be very opportunistic and try to grab the thin. But I just would have put Chelsea Blackheart over instead because I think you're going to get a better match with her in it versus Chelsea Green. Because Chelsea Green you could see why she had to beg for a tryout because she is not good at all.
She's not. She's not special. She was on Tough Enough.
Yeah, but you could I have not been impressed with her performances on NXT.
I'm not impressed with her at all.
She had a better match here, but that's because that could be because of who she's wrestling. But she won with I Am Prettier. And I guess the Robert Stone brand definitely is not booming though. It's not, business is not picking up.
Definitely not.
I think he needs some more. He needs to invest in somebody else, I think. They did a video package for Rhea Ripley, hyping up the WrestleMania match with Charlotte Flair, where she actually went to the stadium. And she talks about how she's looking forward to, being in that stadium with 90,000 people, which might not happen.
It might not happen.
We'll save that. We'll save that for a future rundown.
Maybe a talk after.
A
lot of shit went down with that.
Yeah, we'll save that. But yeah, she's looking forward to defending the belt against Charlotte Flair. She talked about how when she first started wrestling, a lot of people compared her to Charlotte Flair, but she didn't want to be Charlotte Flair. She wanted to be Rhea Ripley, and that led her to changing her look and everything. It was quite a good video package. I like the fact that they showed this on Raw too. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I sometimes question if Charlotte Flair is going to win the belt to help the ratings for NXT going against AEW, but I think considering the fact that they've promoted her on the shows twice and they haven't really helped the ratings, they help a little, but not enough to justify her winning the belt. I don't think she should win the belt. If she was
I don't think it's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, if it was making a difference,
Let's say NXT was putting up 800,000, 900,000 a week in terms of ratings, and NXT was in that range too. I'd say, okay, maybe Charlotte's a difference maker here.
Yeah.
But every week, it's almost a borderline slaughter. AEW blows them out of the water every fucking time.
Even when Charlotte Flair was on like twice.
Last week, I think AEW was around 900,000, and NXT was at like 700,000.
Yes.
That's a 200,000 view difference.
Yes.
It's not. She's not helping in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at all.
It's just insane.
And the only other thing, they're doing these dark video packages where you see like a church clock ticking, like it's setting somebody up. They don't really address them though. You just see it. I don't know if it's just one of those USA ads, but I don't know who it's setting up though. But I see them, so I gotta let people know I'm seeing them. So
you gotta see it. What if you don't though? What if it's You Can't See Me?
He's not coming to NXT. Then the only other thing that really happened was they did a Finn Balor promo where he was watching the attack that Eichner and Bartel did to him the previous week, and he said that Walter fired the first shot, and now he's not gonna like the reaction. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That's gonna be good.
He's actually gonna be on NXT UK this week, so
it's gonna be interesting.
That'll be very interesting. I wonder if the network number, like views for NXT UK, will go up since he's going to be on it.
It could.
He's going to be on for a few weeks because it's all one. Technically, the taping's like basically all several shows. So, but the question is though, now with this coronavirus, is he going to win the belt? Because that he can't travel. He won't be able to travel outside the U.S.
Well, you can travel to the travel ban is on for 30 days from the U.S. to the United. You can travel to the United Kingdom.
All right, so there you go.
But you can't go anywhere. You can't really travel anywhere else.
Yeah, and he's got to do. That's it. I mean, obviously, it could all blow over by then, though, because
it could. I mean, it's
that's
still like
an issue.
A couple weeks away from airing.
Yeah, especially too because I don't know when because we're having a match at some point. They're probably gonna have a match. I would do it at NXT Takeover, honestly. Tampa, because I really like Balor should win the belt, have the belt, and then obviously he'll get like a big fair reaction from because he's from Ireland, and that would make sense. And then you can obviously drop the belt in Ireland if you don't want him holding it for very long. So it's gonna be interesting because Balor doesn't seem like he's turning babyface from this. I just think he's gonna be the de facto babyface because Walter's kind of like that in invading force. But I kind of like that Balor's not really turning babyface because he's acting the same when he was a heel. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Then we had a Keith Lee promo, and Keith Lee was good here, but Cameron Grimes, he was not. I don't know what happened. He just came out, and I feel like too this is like his first. I can't even say this really is his first live promo because he has experience doing live promos when he was in Impact and such. So I don't know what happened. It set up a North American title match, but I just thought this segment was not really all that good. I feel like too they kept cutting each other off. They didn't really know what each other was gonna say. So this segment was very awkward. Maybe keep Cameron Grimes off the microphone for a while. That was not good at all. What you think of the Keith Lee promo segment? Set up a North American Championship match.
Average at best.
That was NXT. I loved NXT. I'm gonna give it I'll give it an A-, a 94 out of 100. So I enjoyed NXT. What would you give that episode of NXT?
I give it the same thing.
Let's do NXT UK since we're still on the topic of NXT. This was episode 85, aired on March 5th. We had the commentary team of Aiden English and Tom Phillips. This is actually the last show commentated in NXT UK because this was the last episode in those various tapings. I'm gonna start. The highlight for me for NXT UK was hearing Jordan Devlin that he's gonna be putting the NXT Cruiserweight Championship finally over to the UK because he did a backstage promo talking about it. I'm really excited about that. And I'm assuming he'll come out and do a promo, and I think they're gonna do a rematch between him and Tyler Bate for the belt. Because Tyler Bate has a victory over him, and there's reason to do that match, and I'd actually be really excited about that. So what do you think is going to happen with Jordan Devlin when he brings the belt over to the UK?
It's going to be great.
You see him? Who do you see? Who do you see from UK challenging him first for the belt?
It's to Uzzle, Bate.
Yeah, because they have.
Maybe even Travis Banks if you want to reignite that feud again.
Actually, well, he's injured, so.
Sure.
He's injured. Legit this time, not kayfabe, but honestly, yeah, Travis, what a loser that guy continues to be.
Fucking loser.
Are you gonna take back finally what you've been saying about Jordan Devlin? He's been doing a lot of winning. He's a champ, so.
Still a fucking loser.
He won when it mattered finally, so.
Fucking loser.
Can you at least admit he's more of a winner than Travis Banks is right now?
He's okay.
I would take that. What was something that was a highlight for you in NXT UK? This is obviously last week's episode, so this week's hasn't happened yet.
Let's see. Walter and Dave Mastiff.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I feel like I was fine, but I just kind of couldn't get into it because it was way too predictable that Walter was winning. This is kind of the problem with doing the taping so far in advance because they already set up the Finn Balor feud, so I'm like, okay, this is an easy victory for Walter.
I know, yeah, it's fucking stupid.
And also, too, I feel like Dave Mastiff, he's cooled off like significantly since that match with Joe Coffey at NXT UK Cardiff last year. Like, I think that loss really hurt him. Because I even said if this was the Dave Mastiff that was undefeated, wreck and chop like in the early stages, I feel like this would be more a more exciting match, but it just wasn't. It
just wasn't as exciting.
Yeah, but it was still fine. So, I was confused about something though. Eddie Dennis did a promo which was very confusing because he's supposed to be injured and he's doing this promo talking about like how he's comparing like, you know, being a high school principal. Well, I think he said headmaster since it's in the UK, and being arrested like the same thing and such. And it's like, what's going on here? Did they film this promo, before he got hurt? And if that's the case, you could have just edited that promo out if he's still hurt. It's like, is he coming? Or is the injury not as serious as what we thought it was? What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. Like, is the injury serious or is it not serious? Is he good to go? Like, what's the deal here?
I think the only person that knows is Eddie Dennis, but he's not going to tell us. He's a secret. He's keeping secret.
Man.
Yeah, he's keeping secret. I enjoyed Travis Banks versus Alexander Wolf. That might have been my favorite match of the whole show. I thought this was going to be the match where Travis Banks got injured, but it didn't happen. He still lost. What a loser. Come on, man. Like, Alex, I understand he's not going to beat Alexander Wolf, but he can't beat anybody. Like,
you're a fucking loser.
It makes sense for Alexander Wolf to win, but come on, man. Like, come on.
It's such a fucking loser.
Ridge Holland squashed Saxon Huxley. Saxon Huxley got some offense, but not a lot. I enjoy Ridge Holland's finisher, which is basically an Alabama slam. I don't know where he goes from here. Maybe he'll feud with Dave Mastiff. Maybe he'll feud with like Joe Coffey or Ilya Dragunov. So there you go. Eva Valkyrie defeated Isla Dawn. That was fine. we're building up Eva Valkyrie for something. I like her entrance. Looked very impressive. And Isla Dawn's just Isla Dawn. Like, she needs to turn heel badly, but it's not happening. It doesn't seem like that's happening anytime soon. And then, like Yellow did an interview talking about Noam Dar and says that he's gonna, everyone's had issues with me, but I've been dealing with them. So I'm gonna deal with Noam Dar on the next episode. So there you go. He's gonna deal
with them.
Yeah. And then they did a video package for the NXT UK Tag Team Division, showing all the people that could potentially challenge for the belts. What did you think of all that stuff? The Saxon Huxley Ridge Holland match, Isla Dawn versus Eva Valkyrie, Laguerre's promo, and the tag title video package.
I don't care. I didn't care about the Isla Dawn match. And then, Ridge Holland's Ridge Holland. He's a squasher.
And then
a squashing boy.
What about Laguerre's video interview?
I liked it. Laguerre's a very interesting person. He's very likable.
Who do you see winning that match, Laguerre or Noam Dar?
Noam Dar.
So he's interested, but not interested enough to win a match, I guess, huh?
Yeah, he's just not interesting enough to win a match. Fuck him.
And what about the video package for the NXT UK Tag Team Title Division?
It's a way to pump. It's a way to pump up the division.
I didn't realize how loaded the tag team division was over there. I thought
super loaded.
I think who's challenging for the belts next is probably going to be Eichner and Bartel. They'll finally get a one-on-one match and finally win the belts.
Hopefully.
And then maybe Imperium will have all the belts in the UK at least. And then Walter will just lose Walter's going to lose his belt. Imagine Walter's probably going to lose his belt before that even happens. And then he'll be mad. And
he's going to lose like Chris Jericho did.
I know, yeah. I'm going to say, speaking of that, but we got to review 205 Live first.
Ooh.
What's
205?
I wish. I know what's going to happen when it gets to 205 episodes. That's going to be history in the making.
Would it be live though?
I hope so. There was some weeks it wasn't live, but this week it was. I gotta look up the date. The date was March 6th, same day as SmackDown.
Hundo.
The commentary team was Aiden English and John Quasto. On this show, really the biggest hype was setting up that 5-on-5 elimination match with the NXT Cruiserweights versus the 205 Live Originals. And now we get I already announced who's in the match, but one thing we found out though was Leo Rush. They say isn't medically cleared to wrestle the match because of the attack from Jack Gallagher, so he's pulled from the match, and they have to find somebody new. Isaiah Swerve Scott did an interview, and it's going to be a mystery partner. I don't know who that could be. I'd say Walt Mendoza, but technically he's an original since he was, in the Cruiserweight Classics and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be I actually would have someone from the UK be on the team, like Tyler Bate or let's say Travis Banks, but that ain't happening. So probably Tyler Bate. And do you really want Travis Banks captain in your team? I don't think so.
It depends. If you want someone who's never going to be there, because he's always fucking hurt.
It seems like though Isaiah Swerve Scott, he said he isn't the captain, but he kind of became the de facto captain on the show though. Which I think makes sense because he's kind of he can be a captain. But I hear though Leo Rush though really is dealing with mental health issues right now. So that's why he hasn't been. That's why he was pulled from this show.
Yeah, I wonder who their member is going to be.
I know. I'm thinking Tyler Bate. I think I would have it be Tyler
Bate. You think it'd be? I don't know who it can be. It's interesting though.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think it's going to be Devlin. Because he's too much of. Because everyone on that team's a baby face and he's a heel. So
yeah, it's going to be heels versus faces.
Yeah. But really, this whole show was about setting up that match for the next episode. They had Isaiah Swerve Scott defeat Oh yeah, Daivari, and then later on in the show, Tony Nese and Mike Kanellis defeated Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. So they had both teams have some momentum. I'm actually really liking the team, by the way, of Mike Kanellis and Tony Nese. I think that's actually
They're great
uh,
dad bod. They have great dad bods.
yeah, they said that. Yeah, was it Kanellis or Tony Nese that said it? Was it both? I forget.
It was both of them. It was great.
But I really I feel like 205 Live the past couple of weeks though they made way too short. Like
Yeah, they're like 30 minutes long.
that's way too short. They need to because I like ruined the main event because they had to rush the finish. So maybe it's because of that coronavirus thing going on. They want to get everyone out of there as quickly as possible.
That's why I thought that 8-man tag.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you now. Hello.
Yeah,
I didn't hear you. You have to. So that's why the 8-man tag was what?
I thought the 8-man tag was this week. So I got
Yeah,
excited.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
this week.
I got depressed because it wasn't this. It wasn't when I was watching it, which was at like 11 o'clock or whatever.
I'd be stoked though. They might have it. I wonder if they'll put 205 Live in Full Sail this week or at the Performance Center.
That'd be interesting. I would like it at the Performance Center. I kind of like the setup of the PC though, like how they do it. I like that. It's interesting. It's something different.
Honestly, maybe 205 Live should just go there permanently.
It actually would benefit them out majorly if you think of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Small, and kind of how NXT does it and how AEW does it. They're in smaller arenas, so you get a louder crowd. Like if you do it after SmackDown, I mean, you could air it after SmackDown, but like you do it after SmackDown, half the crowd's already gone.
Yeah, we know that.
No one fucking cares half the time.
I know, yeah.
I mean, Isaiah Swerve Scott got a decent reaction this week. It's really the biggest fucking reaction I've heard someone get in a very long time in 205 Live. And it was very, 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 very mild.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, they're burnt out because they just watched SmackDown for 2 hours. And now you have an extra hour of wrestling that you don't care about.
Absolutely.
And on top of it, there's a dark match after 205 Live. So,
I know, yeah.
Or it's SmackDown, dark match, 205.
I know, yeah.
So at that point, you're already 3 hours deep in wrestling. Or, 2.5 hours deep.
I know.
Depending on what the matches. Or matches are, depending on if they have one or two. And then 205 Live.
And you'd have more access because everyone who you could have in the. Oh, they also need to get rid of Drake Maverick as 205 Live GM. He's basically non-existent now at this point.
I know that they haven't mentioned anything about it being GM.
They'll occasionally mention it like in passing, but he's kind of like
he's not even on Raw or SmackDown like at all.
Yeah, I just since it's involved with the NXT banner, I would just have William Regal like oversee everything. Obviously, since he's the GM of NXT. So
GM of NXT, why not make it 205 and then just make it permanently go to the Performance Center or Full Sail.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Why? Yeah. All right, so that's everything NXT related. There's some news stuff that broke in that last week. So obviously we don't know what the update is on Matt Hardy because he still could take that NXT deal. Since
it depends. Like he's still a free agent at this point in time as we are speaking.
Yeah.
The free to delete is awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
I originally wasn't gonna watch it because I had no interest in it, but it's actually they're like because I thought they were gonna be like 20 minutes long. They're like 3 minutes long maximum.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch those.
So,
yeah.
I literally watched it in like maybe a half an hour.
Yeah.
Like it's really good. It's
yeah,
really good.
And then what else is Well, obviously, you already said the news about NXT going to wholesale. I think that's really the only news really from NXT and like 205 and everything. Now let's talk about AEW. We're gonna start off with AEW Doc, which really wasn't much of an episode this last week. They did interviews with like various wrestlers that wrestled at Revolution. They did one with Cole Cabana. He talked about debuting in All Elite Wrestling. I believe they did a video package for him, but that might have been at the Road to instead. He talked about like how he's happy to be there. Christopher Daniels about Trick in the Dark Order. Chris Statlander about losing the women's title match. Then Pac about defeating and destroying Orange Cassidy. The only match on the show was Penelope Ford and Dr. Britt Baker DMD with Kip Sabian versus Riho and Yuka Sakazaki. That was just it's a decent match. It's fine. You could definitely see that they were being held back a little bit because this was like the dark match before Revolution even happened. So you know they were, you know, the crowd was still there. The commentary too was Excalibur and Taz, by the way. And something that was kind of goofy was they did the same spot where Britt Baker stomped Yuka Sakazaki's like face into the ropes, and for some reason this time she didn't bleed from it. That was just odd. But Dr. Britt Baker got Riho into the lockjaw, and she ended up tapping out. So Dr. Britt Baker and Penelope Ford win. So whatever, they just won. I mean,
yeah, they're just a winner.
That's what happens when you turn heel. You win.
You could just lose.
What'd you think though of that match of AEW Doc and that match with you know, that women's tag match?
Yeah, that was okay.
The woman, you could just see too. Maybe I watched too much NXT. That woman, the women's division, not just like booking wise, but the wrestlers. Like some of these wrestlers that wrestle on there, they would get like wrestled in circles if they wrestled some of the women in NXT, like Riho, Yuka Sakazaki, and even you know, Penelope Ford. I would even say Britt Baker. She could like. I feel like she would, Io Shirai and such would wrestle circles around her.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
So,
Yeah.
So, I mean, there you go. I mean, let's talk about Dynamite, which had Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and Excalibur on commentary for it. I've talked about it. I think they should move Taz in Schiavone's place because I just think they that team with JR and Excalibur just works better. I think Schiavone's obviously there because he has you know, the name value from WCW and such. But if you really think about it, in terms of like mainstream appeal and like mainstream notoriety, Taz is more known like in the past years than Schiavone because he's been commentating you know, more globally on you know the WWE.
In the past, like, I don't even know how long.
Yeah, and TNA when it was you know pretty big, and
Yeah. Whereas you know, Tony Schiavone was keeping busy in the broadcasting business. He was doing he was calling baseball games for the Atlanta Braves AAA affiliate. So he was keeping busy in the broadcasting business, just wasn't doing any wrestling.
Yeah, but in terms of wrestling wise though, if you watch nothing but wrestling and don't watch any baseball, Taz is more known than Schiavone.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But yeah, what was the highlight for you on last week's AEW Dynamite?
I think I liked all, like, the majority of it. Like, it was like, I don't think any. Oh, Jake the Snake.
I'll talk about
Jake this fucking snake. That was
talk about that.
Randomly, just Jake the Snake just came out unannounced, which I love. I love when they do that.
Yep.
Unannounced, and he cut an incredible promo on Cody, basically calling him Caesar, and said he's not going to kiss his ass, basically. I forget what he said, like word for word, but he basically said he's not going to kiss his ass, and he says, "Don't turn your back on your opponent." And what does Jake do? He turns his back on his opponent, and he has a client.
Yeah,
his client, I think he's clients, but one of them was announced as in the this past week, which was yesterday. But that promo's fucking awesome. Like, to see Jake the Snake in AEW, and let alone like cut a fantastic promo, given airtime, and just I love when he fucking tossed the microphone to Cody, turned his back to him, tossed the microphone to Cody, and he catches it and leaves the ring. That's such a fucking Jake Roberts thing to do, and it was fucking awesome.
He definitely still has it with the promos too.
Oh yeah, that promo is awesome, for sure.
And I'm looking forward to seeing like who his client could be. Did
you watch Dynamite this week?
I'm gonna after I record this.
Okay. I mean, who do you think it is?
I was thinking Brody Lee.
Okay, that's a good option. But you'll definitely find out.
Lance Hall. What's his name? The guy that from Lance Hoyt. Yeah, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Lance Archer.
Archer. Yeah.
You're right.
Or maybe like I think that's
more.
the only ones that, because I feel like it's gonna be someone new coming in. Because I'm gonna say
it's gonna be someone new, but it's Lance Archer. It's
There
one
you
of them.
I'd be pretty excited about that.
And they kind of did it very like lame almost.
He was obviously too. We know it was reported the reason what went into Jake Roberts joining AEW is DDP convinced him. Obviously since they're close friends and such in real life, and DDP works a lot with AEW, so that's another name to check off. We're not going to see Jake Roberts now go to WWE anytime
Same thing with DDP.
Huh?
Same thing with DDP.
Yep, DDP. We're not seeing Arn Anderson show up there anytime soon. So,
Arn Anderson got fired.
Huh?
Arn Anderson got fired.
Yeah, but still, like you
won't see him again. I know. Yeah.
Any legend, you're not going to see any of these legends show up. Because I bet I'd be hilarious though if you like went and told Vince, like a legend, like I'm trying to think of a legend, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and showed up in AEW when he really didn't, and Vince was like, okay, he's not coming here for a while. Like, you should just make it up, like,
Oh my god.
Or like Roman Reigns showed up in AEW, and he's like, what?
Oh, that'd be a game changer.
But he really didn't show up in AEW. Everyone was just making a joke.
It was Ramen Reigns.
Yeah, and he thought it was he thought it was Roman Reigns. So Vince just stopped booking Roman Reigns on the shows, and Roman's like, "What's going on here?" Like, and Vince keeps ignoring his phone calls and everything. Like, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be fucking funny.
Anyhow, though, obviously the highlights for me on the show was everything they did with the AEW World Championship picture. They had Moxley come out and do a promo. He did this fiery promo saying that he would fight anyone for the AEW World title, but he knew that Chris Jericho's going to want a rematch. Then, the Inner Circle came out, and, I love Jericho's delivery where he talked about how the only reason he lost was he was preparing to face a one-eyed Jon Moxley, and he cheated because he had two eyes. But so, I kind of thought gives Jericho an out, that it makes sense. And, then he said that he's going to take a 60-day sabbatical if Jon Moxley leaves the main event in his own power. So pretty much he wants to injure Jon Moxley. And I really thought this was a really smart storyline because, everyone knows Jericho has his tour coming up soon. So they thought, I was thinking, and I don't know if you were thinking, like this was going to be used to write off Chris Jericho from Dynamite for a while. But
I was thinking that too, yeah.
Then it gets better. So then in the main event, when it's Moxley and Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho, when Moxley's making his entrance, he gets attacked by these three guys in a mask. At first, I was thinking this is going to be where Lance Archer shows up because he was supposed to be on Dynamite, but he wasn't for some reason. I don't know why he wasn't. He just wasn't.
Yeah.
So I thought like Lance Archer was going to show up and like destroy.
He was advertised.
I don't know what happened. But Jake Hager and Pride and Powerful destroyed John Moxley. They attacked him Shield style pretty much in the crowd and everything, and they just kept beating on him until he finally stayed down. Like it took him like 6 minutes at most to probably beat the crap out of him. So then Sammy Guevara had to go into the match instead of the handicap match. And he tried everything he could to fight them off, and he even did a hot tag to himself, which was pretty funny. But Jericho catches him when he's doing a suicide dive with a Judas effect, which looked really cool. You didn't even know at first it was the Judas effect until they showed the replay, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, because it looked like he missed it.
And Sammy Guevara got the win. This doesn't count as a loss for Moxley, though, since technically he wasn't in the match, right?
Yeah, he was in the match, so I don't think it would technically count as a loss for him, but definitely, obviously, for Darby Allin.
Yep. So then the Inner Circle celebrated, and then Moxley runs back out. He's doing the best he can to fight everyone off, but then eventually the numbers overwhelm him. And what do they hit? They hit the triple power bomb off of the stage, through the table, onto Moxley, through a table. Yeah, pretty much just confirmed that, Moxley didn't leave on his own power, so Jericho doesn't have to take that 60-day sabbatical. So I thought this was really, really smart storyline to do in this show because of the Chris Jericho situation going on. What do you think of this? Everything they did with Moxley and Jericho?
I liked its story building. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And then that wasn't the only thing you saw the Inner Circle, though. You saw QT Marshall wrestle Jake Hager. That match was fine. Yeah, Jake Hager isn't connecting as much as I thought he would in the ring. Just something is off. I don't like his finish at all with the chokehold.
His finish sucks.
Afterwards, Jake Hager and Proud and Powerful beating down QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes, who was there ringside with Brandy. It looks like that. So it looks like that they're setting up that to be like a little bit of a faction with QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes teaming up with Brandy being the manager, which is fine. Then Cody runs out to save his brother, and then Matt Jackson runs out, and Nick and Jackson and Kenny Omega weren't there because they want Claire to be there because of Kenny Omega, because he went through a 30-minute Iron Man match and that tag match. I think he needs a break. I think there was a different reason they said that Nick Jackson wasn't there, but I thought I love to hear them say they weren't even medically cleared to like travel, which was like not something you never hear about.
I know, yeah.
I wonder if that got a lot of people worried though because of the coronavirus though.
It could have,
but I wasn't worried. So, then I think like the Inner Circle still overwhelm him, and then Heyman Adam Page comes out drunk off his ass, and since AEW doesn't have a wellness policy, he can do that. So so what happens if you don't have a wellness policy? You people showing up drunk. So they need to do a segment where he's at like a AA meeting drunk off his ass, and they have like it be run by Dr. Shelby, and then you have Scorpio Sky be there and reference that Scorpio Sky was like a student of Dr. Shelby before. That'd be hilarious.
Oh my god, yes.
And he should call him by Harold too. Actually,
Harold.
And he's like, no, he should say like Dr. Shelby should say Harold. It's like, who's Harold? I'm Scorpio Sky. I think you got me confused with somebody else. Like, if that's not a segment, then I was gonna say I'm gonna stop watching. But I mean, I mightn't be that bad, but be a missed opportunity. Yeah, Heyman, Adam Page, even though he's still drunk off his ass, though, he's able to hit the buckshot lariat. So maybe the alcohol's working for him. So
hit the Bucky.
Yeah. I'm surprised still he's able to do the thing where he grabs the alcohol from the fans, but I guess when you're an alcoholic, you don't care about the coronavirus. So
you're immune.
Maybe he is. I really enjoyed, and afterwards he flips off Matt Jackson. So still tension going on there. What'd you think of everything? And now we know that this is setting up the Elite versus the Inner Circle and Blood and Guts, which is going to be their version of War Games, pretty much. I'm happy about that because that feud's been going on since AEW went on TNT, pretty much. With Cody and Chris Jericho and Kenny and Chris Jericho even before AEW. The Young Bucks and Pride and Powerful. This is the only one that really doesn't fit is Sammy Guevara. He's not feuded with anybody. He's just all by himself. Nobody hates Sammy Guevara, so maybe he's happy about that. So, what do you think of this? What do you think of this segment and the fact that they're doing Blood and Guts with these two teams?
Love it.
I mean,
what a love there.
Then, Pac defeated Chuck Taylor. Really good match. I'd never seen Chuck Taylor wrestle one-on-one before, so I was kind of interested to see what was going to happen there. But you could see not saying that, but Trent's overall the better wrestler than Chuck Taylor, just my opinion. Afterwards, Orange Cassidy and him have a face-off again, and then the Lucha Bros come out, and they all attack him, and they form a faction called the Death Triangle. I'm actually a fan of the faction. You could say this is getting to be too many factions in AEW, but I think what's happening is they're setting up like a 6-man tag team like titles soon. So that's why they're forming all these like 3-man groups because I think they're going to have 6-man tag titles. What do you think of Pac versus Chuck Taylor and the formation of the Death Triangle?
Love Death Triangle. The match was good.
Then Big Swole squashed Leva Bates. While Dr. Britt Baker was on commentary, she gave Tony Schiavone like the cup with his face on it, since he used to be a barista and such. I actually really thought the match was fine. It's building up Big Swole because she won really quickly. We need to get away from just throwing random women matches on the show, though. It's always the case. Like every match on all the male matches, at least there's a reason for happening. It seems like we're just throwing women matches out of nowhere. NXT gets away with it because the division's so low. NXT's division's so loaded, they literally could just make a show around their women's division.
They could.
So that they can get away with having thrown together matches every once in a while. This really shows like the weakness of AEW women's division. Because think about it, NXT had like 3 segments in a row in an hour just with their woman, and AEW only has like 1 in like 5 minutes. Champion wasn't on the show. Everyone says you usually say that the champion needs to be on every show. We just came off a champion that wasn't on every show, so we need Nyla Rhodes needs to be on every show. Chris Jericho could be on every. Well, actually, if Moxley could be on every show with his title, why can't Nyla Rose? And Kenny Omega and Nick Jackson weren't medically cleared to travel, so they have an out. So they need Nyla Rose needs to be on every show. And what was the point of Dr. Britt Baker even being there if the match was only going to last like 5 minutes? Like I don't even think she really got anything out. She said like 5 words, I think. So I'm gonna be honest. Like the match did the job it was supposed to do, but it didn't do the job that the women's division needed. So what do you think of that? Yeah, here you go. That's the women's division in a nutshell, pretty much. And then, the last MJF did a promo. That was fantastic. What sucked about it was the audio was really bad at first, so you couldn't really hear what he was saying. But eventually, once you finally heard him, it was awesome. He, pokes fun at Cody's tattoo. He pokes fun at the fact that he pinned Cody. So, and he says that he wants to go after the AEW World Championship, which I don't think anyone would complain about. except you know, that little kid that he flipped off not that long ago. He complained, but you know. What'd you think of MJF's promo?
Great. MJF is a fucking amazing.
He's the best heel in wrestling, probably.
Yeah.
Then it was SCU and Colt Cabana versus the Dark Order. I thought the match was very good. I don't really agree with who won. It was Colt Cabana and SCU. They were kind of booked in a corner here because I think they didn't want to give Colt Cabana like a loss on his first match. But I feel like the Dark Order needed to win more since, you know, they're building up this Exalted one. And you're basically having the group lose before the Exalted one gets revealed. So that's really not the best idea. They easily could have just had one of the members of SCU, like Frankie Kazarian or Christopher Daniels, take the loss, and it wouldn't have hurt, you know, Colt Cabana too bad. So I don't understand why they didn't do that. Afterwards, even Evil Uno was mad. I think Kevin Owens is the guy in the mask because he sounds a lot like Kevin Owens.
He does sound like Kevin Owens.
Maybe it is Kevin Owens. Maybe it is Kevin Owens.
Under a mask.
And he said the Exalted one's going to reveal himself soon. So who's the Exalted one? We still don't know. I'm hoping Matt Hardy. But I'll do the whole. If it's not Matt Hardy, the video where they get to review it, I'll do the whole video without my glasses on. I'll be that sad.
Yeah.
I can't even put my glasses on.
Not allowed.
Absolutely.
Those fucking glasses go on. Kicking your ass.
But anyhow, what do you think of that 8-man tag team match?
It was good.
Do you agree with who won?
Yeah.
It's because you don't like the Dark Order. You don't respect the Dark Order. What do they ever do to you?
They're fat.
Why haven't they recruited Travis Banks yet? He hasn't won anything. And they're not recruiting him. Go try to recruit Travis Banks.
He doesn't need to be recruited because he is the biggest fucking loser on planet Earth.
That's the whole thing, though. They got to recruit all the losers. Anyhow, the AEW was awesome. I'm giving it like an A, a 96 out of 100. The only thing that hurt the show was they falsely advertised Lance Archer. He just didn't show up, so that was kind of like what was going on there. I was looking forward to seeing him. And then I didn't agree with the result with the 8-man tag team match. So there you go. And it was a roll. I mean, I could get mad that there was a roll-up finish, but that's Colt Cabana's finisher. So I'm not going to get mad at it because it's a WWE effect. I'm not going to blame AEW for something that WWE should. It's enough of that.
Blame them. Blame their ass.
What did you think of, what would your letter grade for AEW?
An F, 0 out of 100.
Oh, so an F. It's not good.
They're fucking good.
So what is it actually then?
A.
What out of 100?
52.
That's not an A. It's an F.
90,000.
That's breaking the scale.
The 96.
Okay, that's better. So the only newsworthy thing, because I've pretty much broken it all down, is, like I said, AEW doesn't have a wellness policy, but that's why Heyman Adam Page is able to show up drunk every week. There's one thing we forgot. Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard are sending out like a form thing. You can make a 30-second video, and you have to be a professional wrestler to be their tag team partner. This is important because What Culture's benefited from this, because Simon Miller made a video himself, and AEW, like Cody and Sean Spears just shared it, and they did a poll, and Simon Miller won the poll overall. So I think we might see Simon Miller. I don't think he'll be his partner full time, but I think they should do a one-time thing where Simon Miller. Oh, but he can't leave the UK, can he?
He could.
No, but isn't travel ban banned?
Not from the UK to the United States.
Also, I have a feeling though. I have a feeling that's very.
Honestly.
Huh?
He probably couldn't. He probably wouldn't himself though.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna take the risk. I just don't see him doing that. Which kind of sucks. So I have a feeling that if it wasn't for this thing, like that, I feel like that would have. I actually feel like that would have happened. They would have reached out to him and he would have showed up.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
It's just like it's crazy.
I know, it's crazy how much this virus is just getting in the way.
The NBA canceled their season. The MLS suspended their season for 30 days. The NHL just suspended their season about a half hour ago. There's leagues, soccer leagues in Spain. The two top soccer leagues in Spain canceled their season.
New Japan just had to cancel their
They had to
World
cancel a
Cup.
bunch of shows for like 2 months or whatever it was. Just a lot of like non-wrestling things are happening that are canceling, and a lot of wrestling things that happen and canceling. It's possible.
A lot of school events like graduations and such are being canceled.
This thing's fucking out of control, and it's kind of scary.
Since we're talking about it, we don't really know what's going on with really any wrestling shows. There's been talks like that SmackDown was going to get moved to like the Performance Center, but then it got debunked, and we don't even know what's going to happen with Raw this Monday. We don't even know what's going to happen with WrestleMania.
Vince was actually flying down to Tampa today to talk about it.
Yeah, XFL just had to. I mean, I'm assuming they'll just do it at WrestleMania in front of an empty arena.
That'd be weird.
Point, be weird, but
I mean, they did it for Mankind and The Rock.
Yeah,
but like, it's totally different story. You're doing fucking, I don't even know how many hours of wrestling in front of an empty arena. That's gonna trip you the fuck out, especially when you're in a huge football stadium like Raymond James Stadium.
Absolutely, yeah. And we don't even know what's gonna happen with the AEW show, like the one that's coming to Boston.
Don't know.
Yep.
No one knows. No one knows what the hell's going on. With anything, they don't know when anything's coming back. They don't know anything.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's nuts. Because Vince has never really been known to cancel his programming. I mean, he didn't stop the pay-per-view after Owen Hart passed away. So
yeah, that's like a totally. I mean, that's a tragic occurrence that happened, but this is a totally different animal.
I know, yeah.
Sickness that's going around that no one has the cure for, and it's affected millions upon millions of people, and Tom Hanks, the actor, and his wife have it. Basketball players Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell have coronavirus just today. Defenseman in the NHL for the Arizona Coyotes, Aaron Ness, tested positive for it. So it's insane. It's insane what's going on.
What's going to happen too if one of the wrestlers tests positive for it? So what's going to happen then?
Done. Like, gonna have to shut it down.
Yeah.
There probably won't be any wrestling. There probably won't be, and that's an insane thing to even think about. Like, there's literally no sports. Like, that never happens.
Yeah.
There's literally no sports of any kind. There's going to be nothing of any kind for the rest of this month, at a minimum.
Yep.
And wrestling could be a part of it too. I fucking hope not.
I know,
I
yeah.
hope the coronavirus stays the fuck away from wrestling at least, so I at least have something to watch. I'm losing out here.
I know, yeah.
There's no fucking sports to watch. The XFL is probably going to be canceled soon. It hasn't been canceled yet, but it could be soon, since the league is canceling. The only thing left for me is wrestling. And if that goes, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
We'll be doing a lot of retro wrestling review series for a few weeks. Like
I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. There's nothing. There's literally going to be nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Stay the fuck away from wrestling, please.
I mean, the only thing, if you have no WWE, you can just go to AEW. But then if you have no AEW, you might have to switch to Ring of Honor or NWA or Impact for a few weeks. What
if that goes away?
I know, yeah. Like,
like anything. Like any little thing could lead to cancellation of all of wrestling.
I know, yeah. All right, well, yeah, I guess we're done. There's really nothing left to talk about. We're gonna say that we were gonna say that for a future show, but it just kind of came up out of nowhere, so we had to talk about it. Like, this is gonna be this is gonna be nuts. But
yeah.
Is there anything you want to plug or promote?
In the description, just look at it. Click the down arrow.
What if they don't look at it?
Box.
What if they just look at it and just don't act on it?
Just fucking click on it. Easy. It takes 2 seconds to see my name, to see what you need to contact me.
That's a lot. That's a long 2 seconds.
Literally, just click on. Just highlight it. Put it in your search bar.
That's a long
Right
time,
there.
but that's gonna take a while.
Right there. Just say it's right there. Just give me a follow.
Yeah, and
Hit
as
the
for
bell
me, like,
notification too if you want notifications from this channel.
yeah,
Please.
as for me, you can follow my stuff, this channel. You might be if things don't die down, you might see a lot of retro wrestling review series.
You could be.
And you could see, a lot. So on the Talkinator, CM Brothers, go up, do all that stuff, and we'll see you later. Well, we never see them. They only see. I was gonna say they only see us, but they only see me. They never see you.
They never see me. You see me occasionally.
Yeah, they see you like once in only when we're together in person. But, we're out of here. We're done. See ya. Have a good day.
Take that work week off, 5 days in the bucket. Fuck it, you got a boss who's a jerk who doesn't. Throw on some Wu-Tang, bring the motherfucking ruckus. There is no pretext. We are living and we love it on a budget. Never mind, we just nudge it to the side. Give the kids a little time. We are living till we die. Focused and we hustle, but we still be getting high. No exception to the rule. Do what you do to get by. Cause I keep ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my